Greetings! It is I, Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time for Gathering the Roll, the only news program supported by the Empire, with exciting and fantastic news from the worlds of collectible card games, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh!, role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Shadowrun, and the World of Darkness, and of course, card and board games too. Let's start out with our collectible card name news, and of course, Magic the Gathering. So first off, the Ixalan spoiler season has begun, that we're getting to see all these cards, legally this time, and we of course have been shown the various mechanics that are existing within Ixalan, including Enrage, in which when a creature takes damage, you get an effect. For everything about these latest spoilers and the mechanics as we're seeing them now, we are going to talk about them on Discussing Tabletop this Saturday. But moving right along, we do have a couple of tournaments. First off is the Grand Prix Washington, D.C. is going to be happening over this weekend. It's a standard tournament. But also another standard tournament is the Grand Prix Turin in Italy. So both of these standards you can check out now if you're interested in them. Moving right along though, we're going to talk about role-playing game news. And let's start with Pathfinder. There's a couple of Pathfinder Society scenarios out this week. We have the Coast of Enlightenment for levels 1 to 5, where this strange cult has come to the town of Quahard, which this cult wouldn't be a problem with their nature, but the fact is they're acting really strangely, and it's up to your players to investigate why they're being so weird. A case of missing persons for levels 3 to 7 has a powerful official being abducted, and it's up to your players to find out what really happened to him, and perhaps even rescue this official. On the Border of War, for levels 5 to 9, has your players being mediators between two factions that are at each other's throat and about to dive into war. And it's their job to help try to prevent, well, war from beginning. Now in Starfinder news, we of course have two map pack releases from them. Starfinder Basic Space and Starfinder Basic Terrain. Each of these is going to get you have some basic map sets for your space travels, and your travels for generally exploring a bunch of planets. Now there are a couple Starfinder Society scenarios out too, to mark the beginning of the society. There's Commencement for levels 1 to 2, a basic game that can be repeated, that is introducing your players to the Starfinder Society and its various factions, and Absalom Station. It's a way of getting your characters indoctrinated into your Starfinder games. Fugitive on the Red Planet for levels 1 to 4 has your players going after a rogue Starfinder agent, former one, who has now stolen something and has to be apprehended. Yesterday's Trade for levels 1 to 4 has your characters exploring this war-ravaged world for lost technologies they can bring back. Now moving on, we do have more role-playing game news with some Conan, the RPG, and the Book of Skelos. Magic exists within the Conan universe, but it isn't something very upscale, to the front. Now we're bringing in character options for playing a magic user, one on the side of Conan rather than evil, which most of the time you would be opposing. So if you're interested in bringing some magic to your Conan world, as rare as it tends to be in comparison to other abilities, now you can. Now for the Space 1889 RPG, there's the Venus supplement. This is all about Venus, at least the Space 1889 Venus, which happens to be filled with a lot of swamps and waters and more tropical, and now you could be exploring it in your various adventures because this book, all about Venus. Now moving on to card and board game news, we have some Munchkin news. Guess what? Munchkin and Steve Jackson Games has released a new pack, Munchkin Hidden Treasures. This is a pack of 75 hard-to-find Munchkin cards that you can get all together, and it does include two very popular ones of the little bonus packs that they do. So now you can get this Hidden Treasures pack from Munchkin and get a bunch of cards that you might not have been able to get before. But that's it for the news for this week. Links to any of these news stories will of course be in the description below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. It's always important to share the news. If you have any questions about any of these news topics or anything else, please leave in the comments below. I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. If it's a question pertaining to something that it's better suited for us to discuss on Discussing Tabletop, mention it in the question down below. We'll handle it there this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.twitch.tv/Tantus and Dracovin. If you want to, and you still want to ask a question about one of these topics, don't want to leave in the comments, you can email us at discussingtabletop@yahoo.com. Regardless, if you want to show extra support for the channel and the Empire, you can always check out my Patreon, link description below. Helps to support us, grow things, improve things. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.